I don't know. It sounded fine. I'm trying to figure this out.
Yeah, so are we live?
No, we're not live. We went down. We went down to change.
Yes, sir.
Is that back up?
We've got technical difficulties.
Testicle.
It's good.
Testicle.
No, now we're back up.
We were talking about.
So now, is the sound quality better?
Well, you got your silicone.
Gotcha. No wonder. Okay. All right. Even better. All right.
Our viewers are like, shout out.
Yeah. Self-sealing caulk.
We were talking about caulk the first half hour.
Well, they couldn't.
They couldn't hear us?
Self-sealing caulk. I mean, the guy's paying for some drinks. I want to give him some pub.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people don't know anything about shortcuts to do in construction.
Help them out. Give them your.
They go to the killing beige bullshit and let me paint the. I mean, I was so impressed when you did your house.
Yeah, it turned out okay, huh?
I mean, Amazon.
Yeah. Pinterest.
Pinterest. I like how you call Pinterest.
Pinterest.
It sounds like a girl that used to date. I used to, yeah. I met Pinterest in California when I was.
Well, it sounds better.
Okay, if you want to know something really cool, we're live, right? Okay. If you want to know something really,
real estate secrets on
if you want to know something amazing about Funky, I'm gonna go this side. You want to know something amazing about Funk? Funk, in order to get better at dating, Funk went to, what is it called?
Etiquette school?
I did.
No. Charm school.
Charm school.
Charm school.
That's what it was.
Damn, I nailed it.
And I wanted to
It's
go
like a
to
pimping
that.
academy.
Did you read the game? The book
No.
Game?
No.
No, you're spending some serious cash on dinner if you're going to that. If you need that training.
Yeah. You could be. Yeah.
But they gave you like some brilliant tactics. Like they make them go out, like you go there for a week, and then in that week is a bunch of live training. Like you're actually there going to a bar and learning how to pick up a girl right there.
Well, it was really cool because
The Mentalist.
They would have guys who would come through. They were just like, killing it in some area of life. Like, hey, one guy was a Navy SEAL. He's like, but I haven't been out. He's like, I've been killing people for 20 years, but I haven't been on a date in a long time.
Yeah.
And so they're like, okay, well, by the end of a week, we'll have you going on 30 dates.
We're good. So
if you want to go, total.
that way we get pictures of
And they
us.
would have that guys who'd been running a business for 15 years, and it's
Right.
like, oh man, I just sold my company, but I want to. And so that's for me. It was like, yeah, I've been building a business, and then within 1 week, I was doing 20, 30 dates a week.
Yeah, it's universal.
So how?
It's just like a real estate thing. You want to learn real estate, go to Mastermind and come out the backside and do.
I believe
but
that,
how much
that it's
different
universal.
how much
People have
different
needs,
is like
and there are a lot of times
your
it's
live
very
trainings
similar.
that you used to do? How
Across
close was
the
it
board.
to go to a bar, start talking to girls? We're going to debrief exactly what you said. We've got like a little listening aid,
And it was a lot of fun.
so we're hearing what you're doing. Did y'all do any of that?
Oh,
Yeah, we did. We didn't do it dating. We did.
Well, but that's what I'm
No,
saying.
yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
So we would go on sales appointments with folks. Like, okay, so first couple, we're gonna, I'll run the show, and then it's your turn. But those first couple, you shut your mouth and just listen. I know you're gonna want to talk.
Yeah.
Don't talk, and then watch, and then the next couple, then you'll start to do it, and we're kind of there as your backup, your wingman, if you will.
That's me every day at work.
Training to me is no different than for training for real estate is no different than wanting to have the relationship of your life. Either you're going to go to counseling and learn how to better your relationship with your spouse. You're going to go to, thank you, sir. You're going to go to a mastermind,
I took your spot.
Slide in.
you can go to a mastermind, or you can go to some like what you went to, Fortune Builders.
Oh, I've been to all of them.
Nice. And then he went to Brad Shumrock's apartment.
Hey, I'll tell you what, Brad's it's legit, dude. I will tell you this. I can research all those gurus because I know a lot of the larger real estate accountants across the country. So I just start making a couple phone calls, and I'm like, I realize you can't tell me who you have as clients, but I'm thinking about going to this guru, and they're like, we may have him and or a number of their students, and yes, they are legit. That's how I research gurus. I find out who their accountant is, or at least the accountants of their students,
Flex.
and then I start calling.
Someone told me they spent like $30,000 on a wholesale class.
Oh, you can spend $200,000.
Isn't that insane?
Hey, how much did you charge for your wholesaling class?
We didn't do
The
just
biggest-
wholesaling.
the biggest fish you caught.
like your platform. What did it go up
That's
to?
the amount of money you could put into
No, they would have a private
investing in
interview and
house.
find out how much the guy could spend.
No, it's not even that. The conversation is, do you even have the capacity to be successful in this business? We kicked a lot of people out. I don't care how much money you got. Look, man, you need to go back to just putting this in your little 401k and find your little money guy, because you're just not going to be able to do that.
Which is amazing.
But here's the other thing you got to realize: you're starting a business. Like, there's so many people that they get out and they're like, I'm just going to go knock on doors, and that's fine. But the amount of people that actually successfully build a business is incredibly small. There's a reason that when we built Houston House Buyers, there's Houston House Buyers, I already saw the Home Investors guys. And then there's what? Sam's got his little operation. Then there's Brian's got his. I mean, there's a reason there's not 100 of these things in town.
He has an operation of 2, 3?
Yeah, 2.
2.
So there's
1, really.
Yeah.
Claudia's property management.
So you got one sales guy, one acquisitions guy.
And it's an
You need more than
acquisitions
1 or 2.
girl?
Yeah.
Yeah. Her name's Liz.
Yeah.
You really only need to buy, if you're really efficient, you could buy 7 to 10 houses a month with one acquisitions person. If you
That's
really, if you were
My
really
tennis
good.
instructor.
Oh, looky
Ron
here.
Guzman. What's up, bro?
I mean, really efficient.
Yeah.
Hey,
What's
you need-
I love the integrity.
Oh, you like that?
Before you
Driving?
you need
Yeah,
to
it's sitting
get
out front.
back.
It's like college all over again.
He's
I
a builder
freaking love
just
it.
like me.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, but he's also plays tennis with me. He's a good guy. Here, slide on in.
You want me to scooch up?
We'll be sitting laps shortly.
Yeah, we'll sit in laps. Come on.
Somebody who gets to pick?
Next guy come on big, real big.
You're like, ooh, that girl.
Oh, you get that one.
No, I'll
Get the big boy. You look big boned.
Big bone.
I like this stuff.
Lucky they don't
Skinny
have
bear.
the Corona premieres. Those are like my new jam.
The Corona
I am a big
Premier.
fan.
Yeah.
What is
He
that?
is a
It's
craft.
Michelob Ultra that tastes like
Corona.
Corona.
It's got
No
less
kidding.
calories, too.
Yeah, it's got less calories, less carbs, and it's 4.6. So I'm like, yeah.
It's about a
No,
dollar.
it's not-
dollar
yeah,
more.
no kidding.
That's good
Oh.
for your girlish figure.
That's right. It's about $1, $2 more a case for, but
I
whatever.
think so.
So my bear rep called me and took me out to eat Tuesday of last week. We went to BB's Cafe here in the Heights. And they sit down with me and they're like, hey, I see that you're doing I think I've done $10,000 this year. And I go, they go, how can we get more of your business? And I said, I need to tell you guys something. That
Sell better
$10,000.
paint.
No, I said
Yeah.
that $10,000 right there. I may have bought 1,000. They go, what? I go, yeah. I give my number out to everybody to go get the discount. Those are just people using my phone number to get a discount. Well, what can we do? I said, you can change your name to Zach, show up to the HTX and take me to baseball games and Texans and all this
You
other
better
stuff.
believe he told us that. He totally told us
I did. I was straight up. I was like, I go, and you should know that I've known Zach for 10 years and we have a long history together. And the dude's like, my boy. So I
And
really
you
don't know
told
what
him
to tell you.
crawfish after that?
I said, if he dies, then we're good.
So then they said,
Now
so
there's a
there's,
hit out on
yeah,
it.
that's right. So now we got a plan.
Then they did exactly what I do on my dates, where the girl shows up and she's completely doesn't look
I gotta
like.
go to the restroom and
Check,
then never
please.
come back.
Check, please.
No, don't do
Go to the
that.
restroom and leave you with the check.
So okay, so if you get you don't go and negotiate your stuff. But if do you negotiate with your buyers?
I negotiate with the seller's agent a lot.
Okay,
Because
you do.
we all know that's a little messed up sometimes in those prices.
Yes. And how many no's do you get?
Oh, I get no's all day long. So that's like my favorite word in the world is no. So I always tell my investor, give me your argument. If it's a long ass text message, let's go, let's do it, and I'll go up to bat for it. But
That's what I liked about her. I met her, and she was the first person that whipped my ass and gave me a sarcastic comment. First time I met her.
With so much pushback, it's like
And then she messaged me, and she's like, "Hey, I'd like to work with you, but everyone says you're an asshole." And I go,
right. You know?
I was like, you're right. You're absolutely right. She goes, but I think I can deal with you. I go, okay. Well, I said, here. So I said, start sending me deals. She goes, check your email. I go, I don't work off of email. She goes, okay, princess, I'll start sending them over on text message.
She does know how to handle it.
Yeah.
But your best buyers are always on text. Hey, man, you want this thing?
Hey, if you want to make someone interested in you, tell them you're an asshole.
You know what?
That's a
Girls
take home.
love that.
That's a take home pearl.
Why do you?
Just saying.
So there's something there.
And that's putting it lightly.
Yeah.
He's the one that taught me that.
I
I
knew you were going to be
probably
hyping.
You had to. He had to break me of
Hey,
being the
walks
good
like a
guy.
dick, talks like a
Oh,
dick,
yeah.
must be a dick. No.
There was many a cigar,
Oh yeah.
many a conversation. Dude, you are way too nice.
Yeah.
Like, here's the problem. The girl walks in, she sees you, she sees this other guy. Who do you think she wants? The guy that's, hey, how are you doing? Hey, how are you doing?
Calm down over there. Calm down.
That's what he said.
Well, you were like the buyer who walks into the house and you're like, can we make a deal now?
Can we do it right now?
Can we do it right now?
No, I was the,
You're scaring them off.
but you know what? I was the wholesaler that walks in going, hey, have you seen my deal? Here's my deal. My deal's awesome. What do you think of my deal? Should I flip it? Should I keep it? What should I do with my deal? Oh,
right.
my
You
deal's
can't
so
do that.
beautiful.
But see, oh yeah, I'd love your deal. So, but
You'd like to
I'll
show
tell you
it
what, that's the. So the challenge here, it's a mindset issue, right? Because you're living in that scarcity mindset versus abundance. So when I show up to look at a house, I'm like, I looked at 2 lots today, so I'm already getting like a gazillion text messages. You want it? You want it? I'm like, look, dude, I looked at that thing.
Because you're too busy.
That's right. Yeah, I can't sit there and be desperate over your stuff because I literally have
Well, we're doing
9.
Starbucks dates because we're doing 12:15, so I got 12:30. I can't. I'd love to sell you right now, but
But I got this next
10
one.
minutes and we'll do another deal.
That's true.
Sorry.
The sip and see.
Yeah.
They're like,
The
hey,
sip
dude,
and see.
Thank
Sip
you.
and
The
see.
sip and see.
That's what we call it.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, what is
These are Starbucks dates. You go and you only
See how
spend
they
$3 to
are.
$5.
Yeah.
You sip a cup of coffee and you see how it goes. And if you like each other, then you.
Well, the $3 to
Make
$5
another.
is for your coffee, which is going to last 4 to 5 dates. So it's
Right.
not $3 to $5 per date. It's $3 to $5 for 4 days.
And this guy will end them. Hey, I've got another appointment coming in at 12:30.
Yeah, I got to get back to the office. Whatever, you know. You don't have to tell him that
He'll end it.
you got another date coming in. But,
Always time.
This is not like buyers where you'd have like one buyer leaving for the last appointment and the other one coming in.
Oh,
They're
they
like,
see each
who's
other.
that? Yeah, who's that? Oh, it's the other buyer. Don't worry about it. Don't worry, it's fine.
It's just-
having an auction.
Yeah, it's got it. Don't worry about it. It's no big deal. We
I
should do that all
always.
the time.
Just line them all up and ask.
We-
Yeah,
I-
tonight. I've got a tonight.
I do it. New West.
2 a.m. I got a 2 a.m. Right?
New
Hot tub,
Western.
grab hot tub.
Yeah, but New Western does this all the time.
Can't
They
do
don't
that.
get it.
Can't do that. That's
They do this all the
Right.
time.
but it works in real estate.
Hey,
Yeah.
listen to this.
So they teach us to pull people in and bring them in the office and yada yada. I'm like, guys don't have time for that.
No,
Like,
I love
that's
those
not what I'm
calls.
talking about. I'm talking about the
Ouch.
email that comes out like, guess what, everyone? Address 12123 Jason Bible Avenue is up for sale at 12 o'clock, open house.
You know what's so
Anyone
funny?
can come
Bring
look.
your cashier
Yeah.
Anyone
you know-
can make an offer.
So you know what's so funny? Rob calls over to one of the offices here in town, and he goes, "Hey man, put me on your list." And they go, "We need you to come in." And he goes, "Okay, you need to call this guy in California and ask him how many properties he bought." Click, and then literally 10 minutes later, he gets a text message. "Okay, we'll start sending you deals." Right to your email." No, you'll be texting them to me.
I'm down to sign those things all day long. I'm like, here, and if you don't fill it out for you. Just put it in. Let's stop with all this nonsense.
I'm glad that
Not for
this is.
everybody.
Yeah, but but it does work.
It does.
And
That's
it is a
stupid. I
hell of a
wouldn't sit down
business
with
that you
you.
guys have. So.
What about? Did you ever go to?
to? Great.
Did you ever go to a
No.
net worth open house?
No.
Okay, a net worth open house. If
Pull a
more, more than one buyer, you get a card, 4 cards or 5 cards or however many people there are. There's one ace, and whoever pulls the card out, the highest card wins.
Lucky sucker.
That's
The lucky
because if you have the cash and you're
Lucky
serious
sucker.
and you want to get
You
in there
won.
and get it,
Congratulations, you're the biggest loser.
Oh, great, dude.
So
keeps on
tell
giving
us,
for
yeah,
6
months. So everyone
play
gets a,
dirty at New West.
Yeah.
you tell me, how does this work? So everyone gets a card.
Oh, I don't know that.
And
I
if
don't
you
do
Everyone
pull the
gets a card.
card, you have to buy the house for the advertised price. Is that how it works?
It's highest card draw, right?
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
high card draw.
And it's probably like not even.
You get first dibs.
So
Especially if you use their lender. I think you get
That's
like
adorable.
VIP treatment or something.
I don't. Okay, See, this
20
was
points.
before.
Someone needs to come and tell us if I'm wrong because I'm
No one needs to come and tell you. I bought like 60 houses from net worth at one point.
dating and real estate tips.
When-
Oh, perfect.
They go hand in hand.
They do. When net worth first started, Scott had a beautiful model. Like Alan Hernandez was there. You remember when Alan was there?
Oh, this was before I got into real estate, so it's a little before my time.
Alan Hernandez were there. There were several like big guys that we hung out with.
Apartments were 10 a door.
16.
Yeah,
and you were paying too much.
24 was like Class A. That was the shit right
65% deals or fuck off, don't call me.
Yeah.
I don't want that deal.
I'm getting
Yeah.
55 to 45% off on REOs. Yeah.
Sunnyside deals were like 18 to 23 grand.
I think you and I talked about Sunnyside before, and you were like, I was wholesaling these things, making 10, you were selling them for 20, right? And now, I mean, what does that stuff go down for?
70 for a house that's fallen down.
Yeah, 30.
Yeah, and I'm like, you do realize you can still buy that stuff in Katy, right?
Yeah.
You don't have to buy it here at $80,000, $90,000. But hey, what do I know?
He's lending to a guy, and we were trying to bring him here today so he could talk with you. But he's going to Third Ward, and he is in Sunnyside, and he is Airbnb. What do you call it? Airbnb.
Yeah, I do want to chat with him. It's interesting.
He was going to be here tonight. He's on a plane. But
Okay.
It's amazing. I went to it. We're driving down the street, and I go, no.
Wait, were you driving
No,
down the street, or were you driving down the street like this?
I was driving
We
down
gotta
the
stay.
street.
We gotta
like
be. We
this.
gotta stay ready.
no, but that area's changing.
What area?
Third Ward. I got a big deal down there, and I just don't know if I mean,
it's
I'll be in
a
it
long
like
play, but I mean, that's
25 a door. Bought a bunch of houses on one block, and I was driving it yesterday, and I'm like, I don't know. Like, I could see certain sections, but it's like, there are certain parts that are just like crazy. Just
Honestly, all it takes is just a group of people to go in there and just.
It's happening. Yeah.
His live feed.
I thought you were going to say, start shooting.
No.
that's where you get the rifle.
While you're cleaning it up.
He had a live feed on Sunday with his
Start
wife,
shooting the whole
and he's videoing his wife's face, and he goes, Sarah, let everyone see your face. He goes, this is the face she makes when she sees the property before rehab. She goes, you could have just waited until I saw the finished product, not this lean-to.
And that was the house we're buying in the Heights. I'm like, oh, you don't even see the other crap we're buying. I'm like, oh yeah.
Well, Heights years ago was just as bad as Third Ward, right?
Oh hell yeah, certain parts of it.
It was bad, run down. We got broken. I used to live in the Heights as a kid. I remember getting broken into.
Oh, look at you. You're so high roller. I used to live
Now I live in
Heights
Third
as a
Ward. I
kid.
got 10 gunshots
You know,
last night. That's opportunity.
Hey, I'm in Sharpstown. I feel it.
It smells like money.
That smells like money.
I believe that after meeting the old man from that Cordell property. Imagine, okay, maybe when he was in the neighborhood, maybe it was a lot different.
Oh, he's told me recently.
How's that been going, by the way?
It's great. I've gone over there several
I
times.
thought you did. I knew you would.
I've gone over there several times to make sure he's in the
Make
process
sure
of
he's
moving
alive.
out.
Have you been dropping
He
off some
is
media?
alive. He is alive because I need him to at least die of natural causes, so I don't have to put that on a seller's disclosure.
Right. Awesome.
But I just want him to leave
You know, it's really not a big deal when they die in the house.
of natural causes.
Oh no, we've had
it's
two where
fine.
they did not die of natural causes. It wasn't that big a deal.
Well, I'll
Yes.
Airbnb.
Well,
it.
if you're a realtor,
Homicide?
if you're licensed.
So don't murder the guy.
No, we
What
told,
if
even when
they-
they die of natural
I think
causes,
so.
we still disclose.
What if they die outside the house?
If it's on the property, we'll still
But why do
we
you
go ahead and
say it? Why
disclose.
do you tell? What's the?
Because the neighbors
Hit
know.
by a car in the street.
So here's the problem. Now there's so this is where things
the
get
coroner's
interesting.
office comes out.
Drag him out of the house and beat him to death in the street.
Well, the guy.
Then you don't have to disclose it.
This took a turn for the worse.
No, this is a great.
You're like, hey, can I just shoot it real quick?
So it's like, I don't know how that works.
Technically.
So here's the problem. There's legally what you can do in real estate, and then there's like real estate business. So do you have to disclose that if somebody has a heart attack? No. But should you? And we say yes, because the neighbors know. And now you're going to have a pissed off seller that may have been an issue for them. They're going to find something else to sue you. The people who really sue you in this business are buyers on the retail side.
Yes.
That's where you get your brain sued out.
Yep.
And I don't care if you're right. You're going to be writing a lot of checks. You've been in this long enough that just going to court is going to be expensive. Yeah, the retainer's going to be a pain in the ass. So
And the worst part is it's not a fun fight. I love to fight.
Oh,
But it's
yeah.
when I have something to win.
You're the
Yeah, that's right. You got nothing to win.
You win when you're
Yeah.
making
best
super
against the
some
first
shit
time
like that.
home buyer taking advantage of it, no matter what it is.
That's right. And here they're going to drag you up,
Yeah.
evil rich
You're a
guy,
scapegoat.
and all of a
Which
sudden,
is
you're
why-
in- yeah, that's right.
Which
yeah.
is why
The
you
flashy
don't have the
20-year-old
BMW
Honda.
anymore.
You're on evil.
20-year-old Honda. Like, listen to this guy.
Evil rich guy. Now you drive a old Infinity.
Old beater car.
You drive
This
the
guy
old.
says he has a list of 40 vacant houses in Sunnyside, and that everybody's friendly there.
Okay,
Sure.
well, great.
Great.
Well, share your
Send him
list.
over. Do you have him under contract?
Invite him to the podcast.
Great.
I mean, I believe that, but
Great. Send over the contract.
All right.
Wire Ernest
this
money.
guy
Well,
looks like he smiles a lot, so you guys better be smiling if you're going to be out there.
Let's do it. Let's do
So
it.
you get all the friendly
Well,
guys.
we're going to
Yeah.
Sunnyside after
Let-
this. So
talk
we're
about
going to go find these houses.
talking about fighting,
Yeah.
fighting the man and fighting the law.
Okay.
So, what is your record right now on police tickets?
Like 9-0.
9-0.
Yeah, or, yeah.
Speeding tickets,
Yeah.
9-0.
The last 9 I've gotten dismissed. So we're gonna try this with bandit signs because I just got a $5,000 ticket for bandit signs.
They actually
Yeah.
got you?
Well,
I know
they
somebody
did
got
a-
popped for
They
22.
did a sting operation.
Oh,
Yeah,
they
so
catch
they
you?
Showed up to buy
Wow,
the
they must have
house.
nothing to do.
Yeah, and so since this is on the record, I'll just say this is all hypothetical.
Okay.
Stuff, you know?
Hypothetical. All right.
Allegedly.
Yeah, so we're gonna-
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. So we're going to take it to trial.
Just like the dating stories.
And
Yeah.
all alleged. This is hypothetical, educational.
Maybe some of us could be there in the crowd just so that
Yeah,
we could
yeah.
hypothetically have
Yeah.
something else that
So-
we're.
Well, we got a
here's
cheering
what we do.
section.
No. Well, they just pick people and ask people
Oh,
who would
that's
like
right,
to volunteer
Oh, for the jury?
for the jury.
We can
Oh, I
stack
love
the-
it. Stack the box, baby.
All you have to do is just raise your hand and you volunteer to be.
Stack the
They go here, here,
Which
here.
would be so funny because it's a bunch of us who'd like,
No, I
He
think
is-
they
he's
send letters
guilty.
in the mail.
They do
Yeah.
not.
No.
guilty.
No, you get a letter in the mail.
No,
They
this
subpoena
is
you,
no,
you have to
no,
show
no.
up.
That is a criminal.
Hey, who's hanging out in the hallway? Get your ass in here. We're gonna have a jury trial. Curtis, get in here.
You're gonna show it. This is like a traffic ticket,
Yeah.
and in traffic ticket they don't
They
have.
don't do it.
all you guys
They don't
that pulled
have
up in
threesome.
Lambos.
Don't trust them.
When Jason Bowser got up there for a speeding ticket, get your ass in. We got fun club shop for bandit signs. We know you're gonna hang them up.
That's right. Get that guy.
Yeah. Some of my tenants are out there for their eviction case, and they get dragged in. Like, I'm screwed, dude.
That guy, he needs to
It's gonna be
burn.
a random selection. So, but anyway, we're just gonna say, that we bought these leads from a company on Craigslist, and it's probably the same company that's selling those free goats, a couple of years back. You remember that one? And, hey, it just so happened we don't know who put bandit signs out. We just bought some leads, and here we are, to buy the house. So we never put a bandit sign out. So we'll see what happens.
And we only bought a couple of goats. They made us buy goats.
You put it in the
Yeah.
neighborhoods, like, I'll buy your house, contact whatever. He's going to
Going to jail for bandit signs.
No,
It's been a long time since we've done that.
Isn't that insane?
You
There's
can go
so
to jail
many
for
other
putting one of those
things.
signs out.
They just
No, you only go to jail for not
Taking it
having any money.
No, you get-
That's right.
Were you the person
That's right.
that told the lady from the city,
I guess
"I'm the reason why you still have a job"?
That was me.
Okay.
No.
So
That's not this guy.
I can't remember who it was, but
Maybe it was me.
someone
Hold on a second.
right.
someone was telling me of their bandit sign deal. I think it was Joe. It was Joe Tomaselli.
Okay, sure.
No,
So
no,
the lady,
no,
the lady calls up Joe, and I'm in the car listening to it, and he's got her on speakerphone, and she's like, "Sir, I just want to let you know that you have a bandit sign out for buying houses over at the corner of whatever." He goes, "Ma'am, I have a question for you real quick. So, what is your job title?" And she goes, "Yes, I'm the chief enforcement officer for illegal bandit signs on public right-of-ways." And he goes, "Okay." He goes, "So, let me get this straight. You're calling me about a bandit sign that I have out on a right-of-way, right?" "Okay. The way I see it is that I'm the reason why you still have a job." So guess what? Click! He hangs out right on there.
I'll tell you what we did one time. This guy, Reginald Johnson, was giving us tickets for bandit signs. And so, well, he was trying to give us tickets.
Well, maybe that's what everybody else is thinking.
We have like, look at how many
there's a
people are
bunch of
on.
comments, huh? All right, let me.
Tell you, this is the most fun podcast. What's the
Ever.
It's my favorite one.
Well,
That's what hooked him in.
That's what it looked like. Yeah, that's what it.
but Cock Talk was on the first
The
segment.
cock.
The Cock Talk.
DT free. What's the website?
50 taps.
Yeah, basically.
Capital F, capital T,
Either one of those numbers.
and then an apostrophe.
Right.
Or exclamation point, sorry.
I made so much money.
50 taps, like the beer.
2000. Yeah.
Just shared it with somebody. Maybe that was you.
2006 to 2010. I made a full-time living.
Yeah, is that why it just
Can we
connected
go
all
rally at your quarters?
Yeah, I just shared it with you.
Wow.
We'll like start.
Look at you,
all
smart.
But I didn't put them out.
We'll
So.
have bandit signs. that
Big
say
brain.
this
Look at the
logo.
big brain on Brad.
It's like garage sale,
This is,
buy an ugly house, car wash.
They
All
don't work
kinds.
anymore.
We'll have all-
They
that's
really don't
actually
work.
good.
What doesn't work?
They
So they don't or they work?
No, they don't work.
So what is working?
Internet and direct mail.
Yep. Same thing that's worked for the last 15 years,
Do
right?
you guys think deal
But-
machine works?
I don't even know what that is.
What is Deal Machine?
Basically, it's an well,
Howie
it's a,
Mandel
you
hosts
buy
a
into
game
it.
show.
It's about 15.
Sign me up.
No, so basically, it's an app that you download. It's $50 a month. If you see a house that looks vacant or whatever it may be, take a picture of it.
Oh,
It'll
I have heard of
pinpoint
that.
where you're at, and then it'll
Send a
send.
letter.
Yeah, but not to. It'll find the owner and send it to the owner. So if there's tenants living there, if it's vacant, it'll find the owner.
Yeah,
Send an automatic postcard to you.
that's cool.
Vacants are so easy to find, though. Like, there's so much data out there. You just pull. Vacants are really easy to find.
This just makes it.
I'm using Real Act.
real app.
What are you using?
Yeah.
Real Acquisition?
Oh, yeah,
Real
yeah.
Acquisition?
I use Propelia too.
You use Propelia?
I got Propelia, Real Flow.
I gave up on
How much are you spending on
Dude,
marketing?
I'm probably as lazy as you are. I do MLS and talk to a couple wholesalers, and we get plenty of deals. So I'm like,
25 to
Okay.
$3,500 a bandit sign.
So here's your bandit sign cost.
Yeah.
That's not
Last
bad.
year, we
2,500
were
to
at
3,500?
6,000 per buy on bandit signs. 6,000.
which is about right.
My average number was 5,500 per buy last year.
Yep.
Bandit
He's
signs,
innocent.
just bandit signs for 6,000 per buy.
What are you averaging right now?
What
Hypothetically.
does that mean?
Allegedly.
I had to spend, hypothetically, $6,000 in bandit signs before I got a deal. So if they're $3 a piece, that's 2,000 bandit signs put out before I got a deal.
I love.
About what they are.
I like it when people put it out.
Yeah,
So
the only-
direct mail, like I just got one off of 1,800, and I got a second one that might sign off 1,800.
Have you ever wrapped the back of your Infinity with maybe like a we
Giant
we buy
bandit
houses?
The
That
way that I drive, dude, I never have that shit.
what do you think?
They would track me down. and
What do you
fucking
think
murder me
whenever
in
you
my
see
sleep,
someone
dude?
who has a we buy houses sign
guys seen
on the
giant
back of their
cow?
vehicle?
The giant cow
And they're
farm.
like the magnets. Those are my favorite. They couldn't quite.
You know
what
I'm
do you
gonna
think?
go. I'm gonna go get some more.
What do you think about when someone puts it on the back of their
I think
car?
it's a
we
terrible
buy-
idea.
I know. Have you seen that giant cow one where he's got like the lights on the top?
He loves him. That's
Who is that?
his brother is like
I
friends
used
of
to work on
his.
that. That's
We need to get him here because that's brilliant.
so cool story. Short
This lady
story.
is really
He actually used to be a pretty known rapper before he got into house buying or the house wholesaling.
Well, a pretty well-known rapper in
Toe down. No, his
Houston.
name's Terrio. He drives the big cow.
Yeah, his
It's
wife
got
was
lights
like,
all over it.
I don't know the big cow.
In cow nuts at the
No,
bottom
no,
of
no,
the
no.
back
It
of
was
the
called
truck.
Holy Cow.
That was at the Redneck Country
Yeah,
Club.
it's
He's there all the
in
time.
Redneck
Yeah,
Country
but he's
Club.
big.
Yeah,
He's
it
a
was at the
big
redneck.
dude.
You'll see him. He comes to the redneck all the time. You and I were
That is brilliant.
Yeah, Holy Cow something. But
Well, that
cash,
sounds
Holy
pretty
Cow
neat.
Cash Buyer or something like that.
no Mad Cow Cash Buyers or
Not
something.
Mad Cow. No one knows. Holy Cow.
If anybody knows the answer to that,
No, but no, he's a good dude. He's like real positive. He's always dude's a hustler.
Well, I mean, the way I look at it is, you're gonna buy a house every 2 years off that. I will not drive a fucked up car to get a house every 2 years. Like, it's just,
Make your kids drive it.
yeah,
Give me a
well, you're You're gonna have to now that you're gonna deal with your grandson.
Well, you know, I got 15 coffee dates every Friday, and if they see me driving the Mad Cow, that just kills it. You know, wait, was that your car out there, Mr. Coffee Cow?
I have inherited a Honda Odyssey minivan.
Trick it out.
What would you do with a Honda Odyssey minivan that you were not going to?
Drive into a wall.
It's worth $800.
I would not believe you buying my house cash.
No, but could I put a billboard on there or something? You think it would work?
No, do a Lambo. Lambo, I'll buy your house. They'll believe it. Everybody will believe the guy has cash. If a minivan,
Make it into like a hybrid ice cream truck.
If a Lambo pulls up to my house, you know immediately what those people
No,
do?
just like a loudspeaker talking about
Douchebag and price goes up. If you show
a megaphone,
if a contractor
not a
shows up in
megaphone
a
on
better
there.
truck than mine, you know immediately what I think?
Well,
You're making money.
But
You make money
okay,
off of my
you're
house.
telling
Get some
someone, hey, I'm
shag
gonna buy your
carpet.
house cash.
Yeah, it's nice though.
Then you have to show up in something nice.
I do. I show up with a black truck that has a license plate that says buy flip.
I show up in a Lambo and be like, all right, now listen, I'll give you $10,000 for your
Ma'am, I'm going to tell you something. All I can afford on
You're gonna
this
be on the
house
news
is
for
that.
Man shows up in
$15,000.
Lambo,
Yeah.
offers
You're gonna
Brady
see nothing but
10K
dollar
for
signs.
her house.
Like, ooh, I'm getting paid.
Do not listen to Kayla on showing up in Lambos.
My mom would believe it. My mom is of a different demographic. She would.
I think what you're saying is that people who show up to ask you out on a
They think
date
you
in
have
a
cash.
Lambo
Oh God, no.
would have a better opportunity
Like
of
we
being
talked about
Maybe
earlier,
that'll
probably
get the deal done.
if they have a Lambo, they don't have furniture in their living room or in their house in general. They just got the Lambo. That's all they got.
Okay, so
I'm
speak,
just saying, don't you think, like, if someone was to say, hey, I'm going to buy your house $100,000 and you showed up in, like, a little Honda Civic, you'd be like, why?
well,
yeah.
Jason drives a Honda
They're gonna
Civic.
show
I
up in
drive a
an
Honda
Integra.
Civic. No one believes me when I tell
Take a
them.
park right there. An Integra.
I'm a little
It's
close.
paid for a Ford F-150 millionaire next door.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's right.
Yeah, the
That's
F-150 is
If I had a
the
truck, I
best
bet I
house
would
buying
buy
vehicle
Which one?
Here.
out there. The
Because
F-150.
F-150, they don't care. You could spend
F-150
$70,000,
is
$80,000.
I think Curtis is
Nobody
doing it the
cares.
right way.
Yep.
Curtis, can I borrow?
The
You could spend
F-150 buys
$40,000 on a used Lambo.
I will Uber you around. I will be your Uber.
And bodyguard.
Oh, well, that's why I used to drive the old truck on dates. The F-150 was the date mobile.
I actually.
I forgot my wallet. Can you pay?
I
You know?
love.
And if she bitch, well, she's out. You know.
He has some.
Sometimes I just didn't have money. You know.
What-
I just wanted a free meal.
What's your best move that you made on somebody that you felt like was, hey, this was a good comeback to their no or their whatever, where you turned the deal from being no into a yes?
We're not talking about dating.
No, we could be talking about dating. Just
Every
any
deal
deal.
starts
Your
off
worst
as a no.
deal, it was a
Every
no
single
and it
one.
got turned to a yes.
All of them are yeses.
That you
I
had to
always
sleep
think
with.
yes.
No, that you had
I
to sleep
can't
with to close.
remember it,
Yeah,
no.
how many ugly houses did you have to?
I mean,
How many women did you? Yeah. How old was the
Okay.
lady? How old was the oldest one?
What was the deal with the apartments?
Yeah, so with the apartments, I was like, look, I was thinking cash. So I was like, okay, we're at $700,000 cash.
How many doors, by the way?
7, so 10 a door.
So 10,000 a door.
Back when they were probably worth 13 to 15 a door.
Okay.
2011, 2010. And so that was a good deal, but not like unheard of. And the bank's like, no, fuck you. That's crazy. There's no way in hell we would sell these for that because we are.
Oh yeah, it's a bank. This was a
This
bank you were
REO
negotiating. Yeah.
REO apartments owned by the bank.
So they were upside down.
Yeah. They're like, we're in them for 1.8, and you're offering $700,000. We would lose 1.1 million with your offer. Not going to happen. And I think they said something like, well, we could just own or finance it with somebody for what we got in it. And I was like, okay, at what interest rate and how much down? And they were like, well, I don't know, but we could do that. And I was like, well, yeah, you could. So what would that look like? So I penciled it out, and we wound up making a deal. So we did it. We did it.
What was the price that you got it at?
Yeah.
We got it at 1.8 with a $500,000 rehab escrow set aside and a $100,000 interest carry set aside, so it would pay its own mortgage for the first year while we rehabbed it, and nothing down.
Whoa.
Yeah, nothing down.
You brought nothing to the closing.
Nothing to the closing.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and walked away. And we only spent like $425 out of the 500 for rehab, so we pocketed 75.
So those
and
dudes
we
were
like,
smart.
Can we take the extra 75? And they're like, yeah.
Those bankers were smarter than the average.
Yeah.
So
So now that apartment's worth $500. So we took a deal they were completely upside down on.
Yeah, most people would just write it
Turn
off.
around, and now there's huge equity.
do you remember the day that we
That's
first?
my biggest turn.
Do you remember the day that we first met? What were you doing?
I was probably doing a presentation on that deal.
You were doing a presentation at Lifestyles. You had frosted tip hair.
I may or may not have had augmented hair color at the time.
You smelled like secondhand smoke at the time.
I may have been a cigarette smoker back then.
And
a single man.
he got up. He got up. This was the last Lifestyles Unlimited presentation I went to. It was you, Will Denker, and Steve Davis that were presenting. You got up and he blew me away. His presentation was the best presentation I'd ever seen in my life. Everybody else is using PowerPoint presentations and overhead projectors and all this stuff. And Funk shows up with a one whiteboard, and a blue marker. And he goes up there, and he's not saying a word yet. He goes up there, he writes 0. And he does a line all the way down, and he puts $100,000 on the end. He goes, turns around at everyone, and he goes, puts a deal in the middle, or puts a hash right in the middle. He goes, is this a deal? Everyone, yes. He goes a third of the way. He goes, is this a deal? Circles it, and everyone goes, yes. And he goes, in between this number and this number is where I make all my money. And then the whole crowd stopped. And he talked about what a deal was to you. He goes, we're not even talking numbers yet.
Right, just lines on it.
He goes, we're just talking about lines on graphs. We're not even talking about numbers. And you're already excited about the difference between this and this.
Yeah.
It was.
Well, that goes back to what I was saying earlier. Is wholesaling is making that gap.
No, what we're talking about is building trust and respect with somebody quickly to where they believe you and they listen to you.
Oh, okay.
And the way that you worked the room showed me
Credibility.
that I
Getting them on board.
No, it's like if I could be in the room with him, with a seller, and watch him, I would learn so much. And instead, what I turned it into, he and I have kind of a deal. We'll never do business with each other. Because doing business with friends, you end up having a higher probability. So when he wanted to rehab his house, I just, okay, dude, here's what I would do. Here's the paint colors. This is what you should do. Because we're friends. I'm going to hang out at his house. I don't want him to have an ugly house. I don't want to bring girls over to hang out in his swimming pool in an ugly house. No,
He's going to be in that hot tub later, so he's going to be using that hot tub.
What it comes down to is presentation matters. Presentation matters always.
Yeah.
I mean, even when you're presenting a deal to like a lender, it's the executive summary. I mean, it's always presentation, always.
Yeah.
That's what she said.
You put a bow on it?
I would definitely.
Did you draw a happy face on it?
That's it. That's what Bible was talking about today on his radio show, is that the presentation, the way that you look to a lender means everything.
Of course.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so many people, like,
I have that fancy book. You've seen the fancy book.
yeah.
You've probably seen the fancy
Tell everybody about your fancy book. I thought,
Learn it from Eddie Gann. You get a fancy book. You get a logo. You get it printed up really nice.
Right.
They open it up. It's
Right.
like, hi, I'm Chris Funk.
All their
I'm
questions are
investing in real
answered
estate.
right off the
My
bat.
shoes are shiny. My rehabs are clean. Yeah. And then they flip it, and it's like table of contents.
Track record,
my
references.
tax return, my credit report, my profit and loss.
Hell yeah.
Photographs of my deals.
You make our job so easy. We love you for that.
And bankers just get all, fucking titted up when they see this. And they
Yeah, because you just did all their work.
Yeah, exactly. And they get to show it to the boss. Hey, look, I'm
it's not their boss. They get to the bankers show it around to their approval board for your line of credit
Right.
or for your big small business
Board
deal.
of directors.
Board of directors. That's right.
Well, because you're dealing with humans. at
Yeah,
the end
yeah.
of the deal.
There he
It's not
is.
numbers, it's people.
They all want to get the most they can for the least.
That's right. Speaking of lenders,
D Money.
look at this guy. Very man. Good. How you doing?
Oh, Brian.
Hey, Jeff.
You don't know David?
I know David.
David's the guy that gave us tickets to the
Oh,
cook-off.
no, so you can remember. That's why
Davey, come over here, buddy.
I'm sure David doesn't remember one. Yeah.
No, you come all. This is D-Rock. Come all the way around here. This is Grandpa right here, everybody. Grandpa showing up. Okay, we were just talking about lender presentation.
Yeah.
So he was telling us about his book that he's got.
Okay.
Go ahead and replay the book.
You wrote the book, or you read the book?
I put the book together.
All right.
I've never read it.
It answers all the lenders' questions before they even have to ask.
Yeah, it's
Awesome.
a little look at me book. You know, my logo, all that stuff, and my tax returns. It's just a fancy little book that makes me look good.
Track record, bank
You know,
references.
Going to a bank and hey, this is for you for your reading pleasure.
Very helpful.
Check it out.
How tough was it for you to do deals with me at the beginning?
Oh wow. It was.
You or me?
In the very beginning, you were the realtor.
Yeah.
Robert
The
Hammond
coolest.
and those other guys were the buyers.
Yes. Yes.
So it was very easy.
I was a 10%.
So what you're saying is, when Curtis wasn't the principal, it was very easy to do
Yes.
business.
All right.
In the crash, it was like 08.
Yeah.
09 maybe.
Oh,
Curtis was finding these guys' houses left and right on MLS, Missouri City. Great deals. They still have them today,
Sure.
and they turned out to be great deals.
yeah. Yeah. So we did about 100 deals together. And then I turned into David. I'm going to go off on my own. And I'm going to start buying houses here in this neighborhood in Brooksville.
Yeah.
And then,
about 10 years ago.
and then what was that process like?
You and Brant did one.
We
The very
did.
first one you did,
That's right.
Rick Smith.
That's right.
This
With
is back in the
Brant
plaid
Phillips.
shorts and pink shirt days.
We did.
Probably.
We-
Collar up.
Collar-
YouTube
Oh, that's-
videos. No, YouTube video.
There was two of them.
Hey,
The
this is
180-pound Curtis.
yeah, this is
160-pound
He was a lot lighter back then.
yes. Yes, I was a little
A little
lighter.
bit of fuzz maybe up top.
Yeah, it was.
Maybe
It,
not,
it was.
maybe not.
It
He
was
was,
still
he
all the way
was
back
taking
here.
ADD medication back then.
Yes, that's true. I was a little bit easier to work with back then.
Yeah. He's quite a bit to handle now.
But what was that like? What would you say the toughest part of doing your first deal with me on my own? The first like $500,000 deal where I was by myself. I didn't have Brant, didn't have Hank. It was just me and you.
Okay, so there was a little bit of a leap of faith for me there because of your financials at the time.
What-
You were a young guy
This is
starting out.
open. This
Young
is
guy
open
starting out.
discussion.
Didn't have a lot of money, but at that point,
I had
I kind of
se-
understood this market. The
I
market being
had
high.
10 grand left in my name.
Yeah.
I had
So,
10 grand in my bank
Would
account.
never do that today.
Yeah.
Never.
And he lent me on the deal because the deal was a solid deal.
It was, and I knew you. We had a record. We had a track record. And I trusted you, and it worked.
Yeah,
out.
that means everything.
Yeah.
Track record.
Yeah.
Well, he hit the two T's: track record and trust.
Yeah.
If you'd already done like 100 deals together, and like he was saying, I was the realtor, but I was doing all the work for those other guys.
Hell yeah.
Like the guy with the money, I was his eyes and feet and ears and nose on the ground. And the other guy, he was supposed to be the rehabber, but we were over budget, and sometimes he wouldn't even be watching the property. So I had to come in and shake stuff up. Next thing I know, he and I are like parting ways, and then me and this other guy are finishing deals. Then me and another guy started doing deals.
And now look
Then
at
y'all
you.
parted
Give him
ways.
back.
Well, we didn't. We're still together,
I'm the working
but he just didn't want to do
that's what
deals
you were
anymore.
doing.
He
You're doing
was
the same
tired
thing
of
he did.
holding the rental properties.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Robert, I mean, that's the way it's
No.
done. You find a mentor.
Chris.
You do an
Chris
apprenticeship.
Honeycutt.
You know.
Chris Honeycutt.
You can learn them.
Yeah.
Of course.
He was
I
kind
mean,
of a
how do you
passive
become a
investor.
master? You have
Oh,
to
But
first be an
he was a great deal
apprentice.
for him.
ask David when I forced David to come with me to buy the subdivision.
Oh, yeah.
There's
Like 5
there's
houses.
mobile homes. There's mobile homes everywhere around us.
The first 5, yeah.
There's mobile homes everywhere around us, and half of the neighborhood is boarded up.
Oh, jeez.
It was.
And I made him get out. I made him park the car at the beginning of the subdivision. And I said, we're going to go on a walk. And we walked the subdivision.
We did.
And it took 30 minutes. And he goes, you know what? I'll do this deal with you. He goes, if you would have had me drive it, I would not have done this deal. But as we were walking it, he could see people were out there like pulling weeds and people were watering the grass.
Pulling
You know?
Resident here, 2 vacants here, vacant across the street.
One with just sticks and a couple of siding.
Pockets to give to the buyer.
It's like,
It wasn't that weed.
They're pulling weed,
so that's what sold the deal.
Pulling, rolling.
It was a
New
walk
source of
that
funding.
got it done.
That was it. It was a walk.
Yeah, next thing you know, you're all high and you're like, hey, let's do
When I first met Kayla,
Oh God.
I made her go on a walk.
Still Trump.
On the beach?
Same
No.
walk, yeah,
No,
to the same
God,
neighborhood.
not on the
got
beach.
Rolled the weed up.
Yes, we went
It
girl.
was like a walk.
She's like, I don't see any houses. This is for you now.
It's a little bit more difficult than that.
Yeah, so she met me at the house.
Yeah.
We looked at the house, and I said, let me show you exactly what I'm going to do with this house. And this is the reason why I want to buy this house. And then I took her on a stroll around the neighborhood, and I showed her what I did. And then she was like, I get it. Now I get it. Now I understand. I'm like, bring me more deals, because if you want to have your name tagged on something, like, do you want to have your name tagged? I don't understand these wholesalers. You want to be tagged in this crap? Like, oh, I redid this, and it's a bunch of bullshit with carpet and bad granite or Home Depot bullshit, you know? I'm like, okay. Or do you want to like wholesale something to me where I'm going to make you a fucking rock star? And like, hey, we did this.
How many viewers?
The
Like 3,
seller
4?
right there at the
Yeah.
showing gave him a bunch of stories.
She started crying.
I was crying at the showing, but that's because
She
the
was-
guy's wife had just died. And he
Yeah.
was telling me this beautiful story, and I was in the back
And you were high on weed.
Then he was fully out of his pocket. He gives me two
Is that
stories.
there?
It's only the second time we've been doing
Who's the
this.
next
so.
walk?
I figured if we make it as fun as possible.
It's very spiritual, and we were wholesaling.
This is a great little venue here, though.
Yeah, you remember this, right?
I do. I've driven by here many times, never been here.
Yeah. How many houses have you done here in Brook?
I've done at least 5 on this street.
And you personally have a house here
Not on this street. But yeah,
in this
I've done
neighborhood.
myself 2 or 3 and built 2.
Yeah.
And I've done with that for a while.
Yeah. And then I managed a construction job for you once on
You did?
Robbie.
Oh, Robbie.
And then I came back to Robbie, and you lent me on Robbie.
Sure did.
David is one of the only people, like Jet does a whole lot of remodels, right? Their lines don't allow for, at least what Johnny and Eddie tell me, they don't allow for new construction.
Didn't you,
David-
David, a story, didn't you like say you were doing a rehab one time and then David
This
came
was-
out?
this was-
He's like,
He was so mad. He was so mad at me. He calls me up.
It turned into a draw
where's the house,
inspection.
asshole?
Yeah.
And you're like, house?
Nothing here. The
He's
house
like,
is gone.
yeah, the house.
You're trying to do a draw, and there's nothing here.
The house is gone.
No, it was.
It's coming back. You know, don't worry.
You,
It'll be back soon.
you
I
were
promise.
in the car
But I need
with-
that draw really quick.
you were with
Yeah.
me. You were with me in the
Big
car
draw.
when he was on speakerphone, and he was like, "All there is a subfloor here. You've ripped off the entire house. Do you realize the bank could call my note right now? You submitted a reconstruction, a remodel.
Rehab, yeah.
This is a new construction."
It was. That was right.
Yeah.
How did you guys get away with that, actually? Just
It worked out, though.
Yeah.
Really
We
quick.
Worked
saw
out.
Academy investors.
We made $80,000 on it,
Nice. So that's how you got away
and
with it.
he makes more money this way. Anytime I go new construction, he makes more money.
It's an
But
extra point.
to be clear, we don't do new construction.
Well, not
Selectively,
anymore.
we
Tomorrow
do.
morning.
We do for select clients, but we're not advertising. we
You
do
need a
new
book,
construction.
is what he's saying.
Yeah.
You need a book
Right.
You need
and
a
financials.
good book.
The 2 T's.
You need the 2 T's.
And you need to tell them before you do the new construction. It's going to be new construction, not after.
It's easier to ask for forgiveness than permission.
We kept the
sometimes,
mailbox
right?
too.
That-
I did some deals for Chris Funk 10 years ago.
I know. Hoffman.
Didn't take him long to go find some cheaper money.
Well, I just went straight to the banks and started keeping
There you go.
rentals, you know? I've never been a big
That's the way it
rehab.
should work.
Yeah, I suck at rehab. honestly. I'm not, like
That's a
that sounds
lie.
great 'cause
You
it's-
do good at rehab.
Okay.
You're actually
No.
You're actually an HGTV star.
I can
Are you?
rehab a house. Don't
You
get me
can.
wrong. But I can't run a rehabbing business
No, you can't.
successfully. That's the difference.
His
turn
own
out a
house
product,
is
yeah.
really, really spot on.
I could
It
do
was
that
really
house over and over and over, but I don't want to be on the road.
There was a
5
lot of
days a week.
Facebook lives about us the night that we decided that we were going to just not. We were going to go way overboard and demo his house.
That was fun. I remember that.
So-
Kicking holes and
I remember that too. I think
Yeah.
that wasn't that long ago.
The way we did this house was we put sheets up all over the windows so that none of the city people
yeah, it
could
looked
see
like
us.
poor people live there.
Yeah, so we put old
and-
like floral
Yeah.
sheets in
Yeah,
the
I went to the
window,
dollar store and got all these sheets. Went to Goodwill and picked up bed sheets.
and then we went and got
Held them up on the window.
sledgehammers and no, we got hammers and shovels.
Did $175,000 rehab with no permits.
No permits.
Allegedly.
Moved load-bearing walls, put beams in the attic, the whole fucking installed the swimming pool, a hot tub. The whole fucking thing.
What the hell do you have against permits?
Fuck the city, dude. They can go fuck themselves, dude. I'm not gonna tell me how I can rehab my house and then raise my taxes.
That's
because
cool.
I improved it.
That's the big
That's
thing.
good, yeah.
Okay, I get it now. It's taxing. Okay.
So it's appraised at like 350 and it's assessed at like 200.
Nice.
So, yeah. So anyway, yeah, that was a hell of a deal. Hell of a deal.
Very nice.
Great rehab. We won class.
Hey man, you do own it, so
Yeah.
I mean,
We just finished a very small, tiny rehab. I bought it for $68. Brian lent on me, or not lent on me, but lent the money for me, and he's super excited about the finished product.
yeah, it's cool.
And we've got a buyer right now for $170
Nice, dude.
with $67,000 down, owner finance.
I'm about to do my first
Nice.
rehab in a long time.
Really, where at?
Sunnyside. Of all places. Yeah, Sunnyside. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, tell us about that.
So I bought it for $30. I'm going to do it in my IRA. And the ARV is like $140.
Do you need any-
Sergio De La Lotta.
Yeah,
So
I know what you're about to ask.
$140.
Is it going to look like one of Curtis' collection or not?
Yeah, it's going to be
Curtis
a
collection.
Yeah, it's great. A lot of value.
But you're going to keep it. You're going to rental property?
No, I don't like the area as a keep, and I'm trying to build my IRA up.
Okay.
So I'm trying to do flips
I
in
got you.
there. So I'm going to flip it in
All
there.
right. Nice.
If you need some money, I'll lend you out of my IRA.
Well, then, I kind of want to build my IRA. So I'm going to do it in my IRA. Not yours.
You can borrow some from me too, and
Okay,
I'll make
all right.
some. You make some.
Well, we can do that too.
Is the floor plan like a 2-2 or
We can commingle
It's a 2-1, and I'm going to turn it to a 3-2.
because you have the 3 T's:
Oh, here we go. I thought there were two.
tits, trust,
Okay.
transgender.
trust and
That's
transgender?
all it takes.
We just lost all of our transgender
I
viewers.
got hit by
Damn
a
it.
All
transgender
6 of our
yesterday.
viewers.
Okay,
You
more.
did.
How many
I'm not
viewers are we down to?
transgender.
One?
We only had one for a while.
You got hit by a cross dresser.
7.
Up to 7.
Can we give shout outs to the 7?
How are you crossing the
Like a
road?
right hook or in your car.
In my car.
At Starbucks.
There's David Hope.
Just driving
Oh, I see
along.
what
And
we're saying
he
now.
just-
Yeah, you're right.
There he is.
There's another David.
Wrong time, wrong place.
Rob Trigg from
We need a
Jet
bigger-
was supposed to
we
be
need a
here
bigger
too.
table.
We were going to have
Hey,
like
how
a.
you doing?
I'm Brian.
They do.
How you doing?
Hey Jeff, what's up?
And Jason Bible's completely missing his entire podcast.
Yeah, this dude hops out of his car and he's wearing
I'm sure he's
high
fine.
heels.
D,
Oh, man, dramatic.
your boy.
I like fall down.
Do you have insurance?
No.
He doesn't need that.
Podcast.
sure.
Are you on the phone with Boo? Oh, Tara.
Decided you were looking at the house.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Who's in Front Ward?
Tara,
On the other side of Longhorn.
I'm on the podcast right now. You can watch on
The
Facebook.
bad side.
Wow.
The long
What time was it all that also?
Yeah, Facebook Live.
3:30 in the
baby.
morning.
Yeah.
700 viewers right now.
It's
See that camera? 700 viewers right now. Let me say hi to them. Wave to them.
No, we fucking can't. We will not settle this like that.
Dana White, hey guys, thanks for joining the podcast.
I do have a pretty mouth.
I thought the rain was going away.
Yeah.
Blowing
Let me
out.
call 911. Hold on.
Man, there is some very interesting. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, go ahead.
It took a wrong turn on this side of the table.
This was getting ready to be back to segment 1 part of the
It
conversation.
was looking that way.
And so I redirected.
Kind of.
It was a self redirect. All right, everyone, slide down a little bit so we can get JB in. Come on, JB. Welcome to your podcast, by the way.
Welcome to your podcast.
Y'all may not know this, but this is Jason Bible. He has a radio show.
Mr. Texas.
He dubs himself as Mr. Texas Real Estate, but really, we all
Really, he's Ranger Texas Walker.
There you go. Yeah.
Whatever Chuck Norris. What's this thing? Ranger
Walker
There it is. Yeah.
shooter.
Chuck, go full Chuck Norris, bro.
Yeah, there we go. Hey, I got boots on. So
You need a thicker beard and you're good.
This is about. I keep trying.
That's about as handcrafted brewery as you get. You know,
That's
It's
8
pretty
months of
shitty.
growth.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, it's better than what I could do. That's
You know what you call 5 guys with perfectly manicured long beards?
What's that?
Homebrewers.
That's good. Oh, I was going to say something else. The band that hit Chris last night. The band that hit you last night.
It was a Mazda tribute. It was a band. Thank God.
By the way, at the end of the table is Jason Priestley from Sherwin-Williams. You may remember him from 90210. Doesn't he look like Jason Priestley? Because he had the little chops. Remember, they came up with the chops.
I don't know.
Little 90210.
He looks like the other guy.
Are you a Game of Throneser?
Yeah.
R.I.P., right?
Yeah.
So I
Well,
started.
it was on in my
watching
house. I mean,
I started watching it like
made a lot of
last
good
week.
movies.
Why?
About 15 years later.
I started watching what? Game of Thrones. So I'm like, I started out the first episode.
I know, everybody's
And everyone's like, "Oh my god, it's so great!" And so I'm watching. I'm like, "Tasting bad, you know, naked chicks and guys with their heads lopped off." I'm like, "I think this will work." Oh, there's some dragons later. I'm like, "This will work." I think we'll keep watching. So I'm like 5 episodes in.
You're not hooked yet?
I don't know. I just don't get hooked on anything anymore.
Wait till season 4.
Well, can you just start
No, Rob told me
I'm
that.
joking.
Rob said end of season 1. It's like the way season 1 ends. He's like, it's pretty crazy.
Hey, just watch the last episode of season 1.
Because I don't know anybody's name anyway. I'm like, who the fuck is that? I don't know who this guy is.
I don't like old shows.
It's good, man. It's really good.
I don't either.
Shit, you know, don't tell me some
Oh,
old
I
shit.
thought this was in the future.
No. Game of Thrones.
I think you're mixing Star Wars and Game of Thrones.
So I was so worried it's going to be like Lord of the Rings, where I'm like, I can't keep any of your names straight, and you all look the
But
same.
you always
Yeah.
remember John.
Yeah. So we got Bob over here. I
So
used to work for a guy that we would get these interns in, and they all had, he called it the International House of Pancakes, right? We get students from all over the world. And they would all have these crazy names, right? And then he'd get them all in the room. There'd be like 25 of them. Get them all in the room. All right. Summer, I'm Jang Jang, whatever. He goes, you're Bob.
Ching, chang, chang.
you're Bob.
You're John.
They're
And you're
smoking
Mary.
cigarettes, doing fireworks
And
in the corner.
that's about what it was. It was so funny when HR heard about this. They're like, oh my gosh. They're like, we need to talk to some of the students. And the students are like, no, it's great. I got an American name. I feel like I'm an American. We're like, no, we do because we don't understand your damn name. So, all right, cool. It was so much fun. Even years later, you get an email every now and then. Hey, it's John. You know, this is a crazy name.
Yeah.
You know?
I was
So that's
telling
Lord of the Rings.
I was telling David the other day at lunch. I said he took Ryan and I out to eat, and I was like, Ryan's calling Centerpoint and Reliant, you know, and he's trying to get the gas meter moved. And this lady answers, and I go, "Oh my gosh, you're the same lady who was dealing with my Uverse troubleshooting last night."
She was like, what?
Ryan goes, "Oh my god." It's like, I'm sorry, my business partner's an asshole.
I picked a winner.
Yeah, she's not doing any favors for
She
y'all.
was silent. She was silent. I said, "Just tell me, do I need to hold the reset button down for 10 more seconds?"
Go to your gas meter.
Unplug it, count to 30, and plug it back in.
They use that phone call at all their trainings now. You're going to have these kind of callers.
Look out for
Could
these
you
guys.
imagine the training
calls. Those
Oh,
big
God.
call
I would
centers.
love
That's
for
gonna
them
be
to
awesome.
start a reality show.
Did anyone use Pat Live?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pat Live?
Yeah.
And you did the scripts and everything, and then you could listen to the calls over?
Yeah. Oh, that listening calls is hilarious. You'll get that one call about an hour and a half. What the hell? And you go back and listen to it, and they're bonding, and
How's
they're
your
talking
grandmother?
about,
How's
yeah.
your niece?
Oh, it's
How's
great.
your
Yeah, you can set a
bunion?
time limit on it.
I
Set
know,
a 5-minute limit.
We found
So
that
I'd
out
say
after
Just
the
hang
fact.
up.
After
Out
the
of
first
work.
month's bill.
5 minutes, just pull the plug.
Like,
You
what
know?
the
We sent them
hell?
an email.
Oops, sorry, disconnected.
Yeah.
Get their phone number. And,
No, that's what I do. Anytime I get one of the calls from somewhere else, you answer the phone, like, this is Zach. Hello? Hello? And on the other line, like, can you hear me? Can you hear me? And I can hear him through. It's like, hello? Hello? And then they never call back.
I love when someone gets mad at me for not being nice enough. They're like, "Oh, you sound offensive," or "You sound rude," or whatever. I'm like, "Yeah, get to the fucking point."
well, there you go.
He's mad. He's mad at me when I'm on the phone. He's going, "Please hang up. Please hang up."
Yeah, he looks for phone calls just to like talk shit.
I feel
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I've called
Like,
you
just
right
hang
in the background,
up the
please
phone,
hang up.
please.
What? Tell him.
Stop.
Right.
What about the phone call where the guy called for wanted to?
Yeah, he was like a money fund manager, equity, selling stocks and equity. He wanted to bring in Curtis to talk about his portfolio. So rather than just saying, "Hey, bro, I'm in real estate, not interested," hanging up, he's like talking. He's like, "Look, I'm making this 20%, 30%. Can you guarantee that in the market?" And the guy's like, "Dude, you obviously sound like a
So
big
then
shot."
Brian goes.
Oh,
Brian gives me like one of his financial terms that he's like read a book on and knows about. He's like, ask him about the blah 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 blah. I ask him. He goes, yeah, my returns is like 16 to 24. He goes, that's like bullshit. And so then I'm asking him, I go, how many pieces of real estate do you own? He goes, 0. I said, he goes, but I will tell you this: the people who I manage money for, they own tons of property. I said, that's great. Why don't you have them get on the phone with me and then we'll talk? Because I'd like to borrow money from them. And so I said, let's do this. Let's get a meeting together, and we'll all meet at this place called the D&T Bar, and we'll meet. And I'm going to do a deal for your guys. All the money that y'all are holding, all the money you're holding, let's give them 6%. I'm going to give you 8%, and then you make the spread of 2% on me on all that money.
Dude, they love 6%. It's crazy what those guys settle for.
6%?
They settle for nothing.
I have a
3%,
question. Y'all probably know
4%.
this.
All right, let's do it.
I have a question.
That's how it all begins.
How is it that wholesalers somehow have my cell phone number
I get
and
that
call
a lot.
me and ask me if I want to sell my properties? They know I own some properties.
Oh,
There's-
yeah.
How do they get my number?
Real acquisition.
I get it. I
that
get
what
it
it
on
is?
my
Skip
system.
Genie.
Bathrooms.
I can
Skip
find you
Genie.
probably.
You can thank Will Tender for that.
Give me an address. I'll find you right now.
Go to DP.
You're right.
That's a good
Yeah,
place
for a
to
good
go.
time.
For a good time, call David Williams.
I get the calls. Or a smoking deal. What a smoking deal.
It's right on all the dollar bills.
That's bullshit.
That's bullshit.
And you sound
I
like our
hang up,
sellers.
like,
This is
fucking
almost
call
like
me
a new
anymore.
Western office meeting for you. It's like all guys and one
Oh,
girl.
God, yeah. No, stop. Actually, there's still two. There's still two of us.
2 left.
Yeah. No, I mean, we use a thing called the flipper map. And so if we have a property, it'll show us all the properties in the area that were bought quickly and resold quickly.
Flipper map.
Whoa, whoa,
Flipper
whoa.
map.
Flipper map.
What is flipper
Well, I
map?
can't tell you guys all my secrets, but yeah.
Well, she just told you what the flipper map is.
Yeah.
Flipper map.
If it's been bought or sold quickly,
Within
it's on
a-
the flipper map.
Yep, it's on flipper.
And what do you
You
do?
can
with this
identify the
flipper map?
flippers.
Well, if I don't have a buyer for a certain area, I just start contacting all those, because it'll tell you the owner of the home. So I can find their information.
And then you go to your flipper map and you say, "Hey, Mr. Flipper, are you?"
Hey, I know that you bought a property,
Yeah.
blah, blah, it's in the same subdivision as this property that I'm selling. Would you be interested in buying this?
And do they have to come in to hear your 2-hour presentation?
It's
before
not
they
a
buy it?
presentation.
weird.
And
Well, they
it's
have
not
something to
2 hours.
suffer.
Or would you just sell them the deal?
Oh,
Okay.
Only if
all
they have a
right.
pretty
Fair
big-
enough.
There's nowhere to hide.
Curtis, he didn't sit down with me. I was like, screw that.
Nowhere.
We're just gonna put it right
I have a
in
friend
there.
who's a skip tracer. It's amazing.
That's exactly what she said.
Seriously.
I'm not going to
He's like,
sit down with you. I'm just going to put it right in
But
there.
I didn't say the F-bomb. I just can't say it right
Find
now.
social. The whole
Wouldn't do that.
What, Skip
We
Genie?
have a whole five
Now, I've got a
watchers
friend that
that
can
are
do
Whole
it.
flag.
And so I can put in a name and it's like, Audio's picking up any range.
Who needs a beer?
When you
Red
were
Door
gone.
Finding Five.
That's why no one's in the damn.
Crush City
Every
IPA.
time I looked, it's like 0 or maybe 1.
Look at how dark it is. Can we switch the camera over to this side because the lighting would be so much better?
Yeah, we'll switch.
I think that would be. Look at how dark that is.
I'm good. You want to end
Oh,
this? Let's end this for a second.
So we'll,
So I'll see you.
we'll move